One of the unique features here in the Roads of Avalon is what's called an Avalonian Rests. Now this is the symbol on this circle that looks like a bull with horns. We are sitting in front of a tier 6 Avalonian Rest right now, and in this video what I want to do is I want to explain the unique features as well as the naming system for these Avalonian Rests, as well as the different things that you can do inside them. Now the first thing that I do want to cover is the naming system. So for these, they have the prefixes, which is the first 3 letters of the name. So this one has SEC, which means it's going to be a tier 6. So to go down the list for the prefixes, we have QUA, which is tier 4. We have QII, which is tier 5. We have SEC, which is tier 6. And we have SET, which is tier 7. Now, I'm not 100% sure if there are tier 8 Avalonian Rests. And if there are, please leave the information in the comments. I did search around for different databases and no one writes about the tier 8 Rests. So if there is, make sure to drop that information. And if you do know the prefix for it, that would be greatly appreciated. But going on, in this portal, we have an SEC, which is going to be a tier 6 Avalonian Rest. And we're going to hop inside and look at what's going on in there. So when it comes to these Avalonian Rests, there are a couple things that are different from the regular roads. Now we're going to open our map here. There are no roads inside of this rest. So it's all wilderness. And guilds can place hideouts in here, which are mini bases of operation that they can put like crafting stations, stuff inside. They can put banks. They can have their own little market in there. But the thing is that people have to transport stuff to these hideouts. And inside these Avalonian Rests, the resources are limited. So compared to the Outlands and the overworld, there's not as many resources. So a lot of times people that place hideouts and stuff in here have to transport out of the Avalonian Rests to try to get resources in and out to sell on the main markets. Now, to go on from there, the main feature that is different from these is that they are the closest resemblance to the Outlands and the regular Royal Continent. And by what I mean by that is they have solo dungeons in here as well as Hellgates and corrupted dungeons. So in here, unfortunately, I did bring some group maps to test with you guys. When it comes to the solo dungeons and group dungeon maps, you cannot proc group dungeon maps in here. So if we try to proc a tier 6 group dungeon map, it'll say the map does not show anything in this area. Try using it somewhere else. You can't use group dungeon scrolls in here. However, you can use solo dungeon scrolls. Now, when it comes to the Outlands, you can use a tier 8 scroll anywhere. It'll pop up in a tier 5, a tier 6, a tier 7. It doesn't matter. You can pop the scroll anywhere. And in Avalonian Rests, you need to be the same tier as the road you're standing on. So for example, if I try to use this expert dungeon map, it's not going to allow me to use it. If I try to use a tier 6 dungeon map, it will allow me to use it. Now it's going to pop me up into the map. This is where the Ava Roads are, and it's going to be right on top of me. So you're not really going to be able to track it from this overall map. What you're going to do is you're going to want to open your smaller map, and you're going to see where the dungeon is on the map. So this is where it procs. So we can run over to it. Again, it has to be the same tier, so if you ever find like a tier 7 Avalonian Rest and you want to just chain run dungeons, you can bring a bunch of scrolls in here. If you remember the route, come back and just chain run them and then come out. It is a lot safer to do solo dungeons in the Avalonian Rest just because dungeon divers don't really hang out in here as often as compared to the Outlands where there are a lot of dungeon divers. All right, let's see where the solo dungeon is. Here it is. So this is going to be our tier 6 solo dungeon. I'm going to go in. Has little butterflies on the outside to show the increased rewards on the mobs. So these are going to be tier 6 and they are 16% stronger. Now we're not actually going to do this dungeon. I just brought it just to show you guys that you can proc them in here and do them. And from here, what we're going to do is I'm going to run around the rest for a little bit and see if we can't find a corrupted dungeon to show you guys. So as we're running through here, like we just ran by a solo dungeon that wasn't procced from a scroll. They can appear just as they do in the overworld. So you can find solo dungeons that are just popping up everywhere that aren't even used. You can run them like that if you find a tier 7 rest. You can chain run those. I don't usually run them just because they don't have the extra bonuses. But you can always bring enchant scrolls in with you and try to run these dungeons. But right now we're trying to find a Hellgate or a corrupted dungeon to show you guys that they do spawn in here in these wilderness areas. So a lot of people, when they have their hideouts in here, they'll just run around looking for corrupted dungeons inside of here to run. And we do want to always destroy these chests if you do see them because they can drop items. Like this one has Master Guardian boots. And I didn't see how much silver that had. It had 4,000. Okay. Yeah, the higher tier areas, they can drop like 10k a piece. So you always want to kill those chests when you see them. So here is one of the corrupted dungeons that we found. We can't do Hunter in here because this is considered a red zone. It is tier 6, so blue and yellow zones. But we can do Stalker, and I believe we can do Slayer if you have the infamy to do it. I just don't have the infamy because I don't run corrupted dungeons that often. But I could do a Stalker dungeon if I want. But Hellgate's corrupted dungeons, solo dungeons are in here, as well as on the map there are resource nodes, just like every other Avalonian road, as well as there's green chests, blue chests, and I believe yellow chests can spawn in here as well on some of the rests. But other than that, that's going to be everything for the Avalonian Rests. I try to make this video quick and easy, just a short, nice video to talk about the naming system and the differences for the Avalonian Rests. I have gotten a lot of questions about them and why they are different, as well as about the dungeon scrolls and whatnot. So if you guys enjoy the video, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you all in the next video, and I'll see you all in Albion Online.